Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. Welcome all for the Nityam Bhagavata sessions. Today we will hear from His Grace Radha Ramana Prabhu and the verses from Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text 14:1-4. Over to you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Share. Okay. Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Yamuna Tira Vanachari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari, Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Nashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sene Bhagavate Uttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhagavati Nishti Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Chanana. Okay, so Hare Krishna. Today we are reading from Canto 5, Chapter 18, Text number 14. This chapter is titled The Prayers Offered by the Residents of Jambu to the Lord by the residents of Jambu Dvipa. Tasmat Rajoraga Vishada Manyu. Tasmad Rajoraga Vishada Manyu. Manaspruha Bhaya Dainya Adhimulam. Manaspruha Bhaya Dainya Adhimulam. Hitvagraham Sansriti Chakravalam. Hitvagraham Sansriti Chakravalam. Nirsinhapadam Bhajata Kuto Bhayam Iti. Nirsinhapadam Bhajata Kuto Bhayam Iti. Again, Tasmad Rajo Raga Vishada Manyo. Tasmad Rajo Raga Vishada Manyo. Manaspraha Bhayadhainyadhimulam. Manaspraha Bhayadhainyadhimulam. Hitvagraham Sansriti Chakravalam. Hitvagraham Sansriti Chakravalam. Nirsinhapadam Bhajata Kuto Bhayam Iti. Nirsinhapadam Bhajata Kuto Bhayam Iti. Tasmad Rajo Raga Vishada Manyo. Tasmad Rajo Raga Vishada Manyo. Manaspraha Bhayadhainyadhimulam. Manaspraha Bhayadhainyadhimulam. Hitvagraham Samsriti Chakravalam. Hitvagraham Samsriti Chakravalam. Nirsinhapadam Bhajata Kuto Bhayam Iti. Nirsinhapadam Bhajata Kuto Bhayam Iti. Word by word. Tasma, therefore. Rajaha, of passion or material desires. Raga, attachment for material things. Vishada, then, disappointment. Manyu, anger. Manaspraha, the desire to be respectable in society. Bhaya, fear. Dainya, of poverty. Adhimulam, the root cause. Hitva, giving up. Griham, household life. Sansriti Chakravalam, the cycle of repeated birth and death. Nrsimhapadam, the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimhadev. Bhajata, worships. Akuta Bhayam, the shelter of fearlessness. Iti, thus. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation, therefore, O demons, give up the so-called happiness of family life and simply take shelter of the lotus feet of Lord Nrsimhadev, which are the actual shelter of fearlessness, entanglement, and fearlessness. Entanglement in family life is the root cause of material attachment. Entanglement in family life is the root cause of material attachment, indefatigable desires, moroseness, anger, despair, fear, and the desire for false prestige, all of which result in the repetition of birth and death. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshtarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya class, beginning of the week here, Monday morning. A very nice chapter, like all chapters in Bhagavata. The residents of Jambu Dvipa are offering prayers. So when I was just looking through all the previous verses, it is just amazing how, to every Varsha, the residents of Jambu Dvipa are offering prayers. They start the predominating rule of Bhadrashva Varsha is Bhadrashrava. And he and his many servants always worship the Lord known as Hayagriva. Then there's like that. There are so many different Varshas. Hari Varsha. In the land of Hari Varsha, Prahalad is worshipping Narsinghadeva. In the tract of the land known as Ketumala Varsha, Lord Rishikesha appears in the form of Cupid, which I think was previously discussed. In the tract of land known as Ramyaka Varsha, Manu and all the inhabitants worship Matsya Deva. So amazing. And we are in Bharata Varsha. I felt like, what is this? Are we condemned? Because all these other Varshas are so beautiful. Everyone's worshipping. It seems like a very beautiful Vedic life. And here we are in this kind of condemned world, or, it's like, as the Acharyas say, it's like a prison where we are going through a prison life of entanglement, which is this verse all about, all beginning with the word entanglement, and a very strong beginning because it says entanglement in family life. Yeah, so that is the main cause of all the one by one problem, which is discussed in this verse. Entanglement leads to this, leads to this. The problem is entanglement right from the day we are born. Kali Yuga is entangling us further and further. Everything around our society is meant to entangle us, right from birth. Previously, 60 years ago, childbirth was so much easier than today. And childbirth was happening in everyone's house. 10 kids, 6 kids, 7 kids, 14 kids, 12 kids, 80 years back, 60 years back. In my own family, my great-grandfather had 14 children. It looked so easy. Now we have more complicated infrastructure of hospitals and, C-sections and labor wards and this and that. But unfortunately, Kali Yuga, the sinful life propensity, is entangling us further and further that we are not even able to have 4, 3, 2, and sometimes 1 or 0. It's unfortunate how everything around us is entangling us. So beginning right there, and after childbirth, the society is so arranged that everything has to be, everyone has to go to, unfortunately, a form of education. And that form of education now that is predominant is regular schooling, which teaches us, and not only teaches us, reinforces. And in this life, we already have the bija of sense gratification for many, many lifetimes, but reinforces that seed that we have into body consciousness. It's all related to body consciousness, how to increase roti, kapada, makan. And to do that, how to compete with others, how to defeat others. So how to progress materially in material life, how to progress in material life, and how to entangle ourselves further and further and further. This is given in Krishna Leela also in the form of Putana. Putana is compared, there is a book written by Bhaktivinoda Thakur called Chaitanya Shikshamrita. In that book, one by one, he describes who are all the demons in Krishna Leela. I think long back in the same Nityam Bhagavata Seva, we discussed that. And I spoke about Putana. And Putana, right in the beginning, the first demon that comes to capture Krishna is Putana. And she's compared to the pseudo guru, because the pseudo teachers, what do? They first come and she comes to kidnap Krishna and poison him. The same thing the pseudo gurus of today do. Whether it is teaching in Western education or anything, what do? They come to poison us. Poison us from what? Poison us about material life, entanglement, and entangle further and further. So this is entanglement in family life is the root cause. And as you see throughout the Bhagavatam, this point is discussed at many, many places. Prahalad says, a small boy, 5-year-old boy, he's saying, Tatsadu Bhanye Suravarya Dehinam Sada Samudvigna Dhyam Asad Grahat. Kitvatma patam grahamanda kupam vanam gatoyat dharimashrayeta. So he says, oh, a small child. That is why 7th canto Prabhupada has written the name of the book as Signs of God. The 5th canto, I think it's Creative Impetus, right? I forget the name. Yeah, 5th canto is the Creative Impetus. 7th canto is what? The Signs of God, because of Prahlad's teachings. Even he wrote a book called The Teachings of Prahlada. Same Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur also wrote a small book, Prahlad Charitra, because his teachings are so deep and so like, exposing. It's like naked truth is the word, if you want to say naked truth. Oh, best of asuras, he's telling here. Oh, king of demons, he's telling his own father. As far as I've learned from my spiritual master, Narada, any person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well where there is no water but only suffering. This world, Krishna has given guarantee. How much ever we try for material happiness, this world is called dukkhalayam. The whole entanglement we are getting further and further is because all of us are looking for false happiness. So in that process, our entanglement is going further deeper, deeper, and deeper. So this world is only a world of no sukhalaya. This is a dukkhalaya. It's only suffering. One should give up this position and go to the forest, vana. Vanam gatoya dharimashrayata, take shelter there. More clearly, Krishna then Prabhupada adds what is vana here, because the word is not used in the verse. More clearly, one should go to Vrindavana, where one's Krishna conscious is prevalent, and should thus take shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, 5-year-old boy, if he comes and tells us this to you and me, when we were back in the day, what we say, small papa, small child, let him go, let him, he's just saying something. But Prahlad Maharaj is of such deep words. So he's saying, anyway, Prabhupada here translate, one should go to Vrindavan or any holy setting. Your house can be a Vrindavan. The temple we go to and do service, that can be Vrindavan. Everything depends on our attitude and our consciousness, of course. So, but main point in this verse is that, again, a person who has accepted a temporary body and temporary household life is certainly embarrassed by anxiety because of having fallen in a dark well. So this grihastha ashrama, this householder life, is actually compared to a dark well where there is only suffering. But at the same time, then how should we, as practitioners of devotional service, take up grihastha ashram? Actually, karma is divided into 3. Karma is divided into nitya karma, naimitika karma, kamya karma. Nitya karma, nityam naimitikas kamyam, karmam trividam uchyate, comes in Mahabharata, this verse. So nitya karma means our daily karmas. All of us will have a nitya karma beginning. All of us have some things that are common. For example, getting up early in the morning, thinking of the Lord early in the morning, brushing teeth, having bath. All these are common nitya karmas. And then according to our varnashrama position, we have different nitya karmas. Brahmana will have to do his, Kshatriya will have to do his nitya karma. Vaishya will have to do his, he has to go to the cow barn, the goshala, and all these things and take care. And the laborer class will have to support the other varnas and ashramas. And similarly, we have brahmachari. So according to our position, we have different. For example, even in today's world, a brahmachari in a temple will have to do his nitya karma. We as grahasthas or householders, we'll have our own nitya karma. So something like that. Okay, and then naimitika karma is conditional karmas. Some things we don't have to do every day. Like we have Shraddh, tarpana and all these things that people offer. So that's called naimitika karmas. And kamya karmas, allowed kamya, desired activities, allowed desired activities. So the conditioned soul has a desire to enjoy, and that is why we're here. Overnight, because you hear a class, it is very rare that someone overnight will just cut off all sense gratification. Overnight, no. Right? So Krishna is very compassionate. In the Shastras, he's given kamya karma. Kamya karma means allowed sense gratification. Instead of living like pigs and dogs and keep mating every mating season, he has given us the opportunity to have grahastha ashrama. So in that ashrama, what is it? It is to engage our senses, but in a way that could also be pleasing to the Supreme Lord. Kamya karma. Anything, even if you wanted to go to heavenly planets, let's say I want to go for a better life, that also is a kamya karma. You do a certain yajna, jyotishtoma yajna, and you go. That all falls in sakama karma. But still, even though because you have come to the Vedas, there is some form of slight purification. So, but of course, that process, but because you come to the Vedas, you will get purified, but you will take bahunam, janmanam, a long time to progress through that channel. So he's allowed the kamya karma. Vedas are very compassionate, very, very compassionate, but we don't want that compassion. We want our own. See, that's why Shastras actually say in the commentaries on the Bhagavad Gita, Mata Pita Sahasrebhyaha Vatsaladaram Shastram. That Mata Pita, our parents are very usually affectionate to us. Everyone's parents are affectionate to their children. Whereas Shastra gives that affection 1,000-fold more. Mata Pita Sahasrebhyaha Vatsaladaram, the parental affection, Shastra gives how much? 1,000 times more the affection than our parents. That is the compassion of Shastras. Kamya karma allows. So how do we see? We see Grahastha Ashram as a form of association with the spouse. But we are also conditioned souls that association leads to many fights or differences of opinion. Two different egos have come, two different conditioning have come together, two different upbringings have come together, two different lifestyles have come together, two different people with different karmas have come together. So there is going to be clash because this is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga is the age of quarrel and hypocrisy. You know this, when two people come together, there'll be quarrel. When one person is alone, there'll be hypocrisy, right? So age of quarrel. If I'm alone, hypocrisy, because idle mind is the devil's workshop. But the chance to associate with a spouse who is a devotee is a better option than living in a materialistic sangha where griha andakupam, it becomes a dark well of suffering and suffering. Because society today is mainly money-driven system. It is a completely money-driven system today, which is what is entangling us further and further. There's no compassion, no traditional form of kings, which was back in the day, real educated Ramarajya, Yudhishthira kind of kings. It's all a money-driven system. Whereas the real society that was designed by the Lord is Varnashrama Dharma. Varnashrama Dharma was not a money-driven system at all. It is a system where everyone works cooperatively for the upliftment of society. It was not a system of greed. It was not a system of, I want to be better than you. Nothing. It was all a cooperative system. Brahmanas would help the Kshatriyas to uplift, to help them rule the kingdom in the right way. Kshatriyas will make sure that the Brahmanas are also following their dharma. As you've seen in the case of King Avena and other demoniac kings, how the Brahmanas by a mantra could just burn him or get rid of him because of their powers. So that's a very nice system, right? But in Kali Yuga, we don't have that kind of system. So everything has become money-driven. So when it is money-driven, it only develops entanglement and bad qualities. Whereas when it was a Varnashrama system, good qualities. It was designed to develop good qualities. So this way, beginning from childhood with our educational system, we have been taught not vidya, we have been taught avidya. Bhavesmin klishyamananam avidya kama karma bihi shravana smarana harani karishyan iti kechana. Kunti says in her prayers. Avidya is what? Because of avidya, it is leading to kama. You and I, most of us have gone through avidya form of material education. So we know what that avidya has, what kind of karma has created. And luckily, by the mercy of some devotees, we have turned our faces now towards Krishna and we are trying to reduce that karma. But it was avidya which always entangled us further, and further. And when that avidya was there, it gave rise to karma. And this is also discussed in the famous verses of Bhagavad Gita. Dhyayato vishayan punsaha sangasteshu pajayate. Sangat sanjayate kamaha kamat krodo abhijayate. These verses are popular, and I'm sure you know all this because while contemplating on the object of the senses, what happens? We develop attachment for them. And attachment leads to desire, and from desire, what happens? It leads to anger. And finally, what does anger do? It leads to illusion, delusion, and it leads to krodat bhavati sammoha, sammohat smriti vibramaha. We forget our shastras. It happens to me also many times. I mean, I'm on the road or suddenly something agitates me. At that minute, I also forget all my learning. It takes time to suddenly recollect and learn what we have learned in Shastras, So, Smriti Vibramaha, Smriti Bramshat, Buddhinashat, Pranashyati. So, like that's what happens when our entanglement slowly is the root cause of material attachment because of body consciousness, which creates indefatigable desires. Prabhupada has used that word here. So, what is that desires? It is tireless. We want more. And then it leads to so tasma rajaha, passion for material things, gives us raga, material attachments, vishada, then disappointment. So when we don't get it, we are disappointed. Then manyu, anger. Then see the word, it is not there in the translation exactly, but in the Sanskrit there's manas priha. This desire to be respectable in society, very strong desire, very, very, very strong. Everybody, we want respect from everyone. We should not expect respect from others. It says here, Tranada Pisunicha, all these things it says. But that leads to what? Wanting respect from others. I will introduce myself in such a way that I will get respect from others. Will anybody go and say, I'm nobody? Hare Krishna, I'm nobody. Nobody, everyone. I'm a dentist. I'm a doctor. I'm a businessman. I am a so-and-so. I'm a so-and-so. Sorry, no, I'm not criticizing anyone. I'm just words are coming out of my mouth. I'm a businessman. I'm a CEO. I'm a vice president. I'm a whatever. I'm a surgeon. I'm an eye ophthalmologist. I'm a gynecologist. Whatever is the greatest. It's, we all want respect from everyone. That's where so this entanglement is leading one by one to another problem. Because we have attraction for this body, leather bag. So we will be selfish and difficult to become selfless. The thing is, we always want to show in some way or the other, whether it's in Krishna consciousness that we have come to or in material. I am better than you. How can I be better than you? How can I do a service which I feel makes me feel better than you? I have to do so many, if I do 1,000 books internally, I'm better than you. So it's very difficult, very, very difficult to come out of this conditioning of real compassion and selflessness. That is why I have said many times, I also say this, we should always preach out of compassion, not come to Krishna consciousness out of an ambition. We have not come to Krishna consciousness to make a career in management of ISKCON. We have come here for what? We have come here for pure devotional service. All the Bhagavatam attacks is targets is pure devotional service. If you see all our acharyas, all of them, mostly like Prabhupada, Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur, no one spoke about highly scholarship kind of shastric stuff. They all spoke about what? Give up sense gratification. So you see all Prabhupada's talks, you see Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur's talks. You don't do intellectual, if you study too many books, too many shastras, to intellectual sense gratification. Sometimes we get attracted to other speakers from other sampradayas because they have more information. They know more in-depth shastras, but that is information. The difference is we are not looking for information. We are looking for realization of shastras. Prabhupada, that's why he says, in Nivritta Tasher Upagiyamanan, in that verse, he says, in 10th canto, hear from realized souls. So, but that realization has to come from Shastra, no doubt. But at the same time, it should not become a class on information. So and so, father, mother, okay, all that is information. But what is the realization? The realization that when we hear such a class, makes us want to hate materialistic life, makes us want to give up one step of material life and go towards spiritual life. That word should cut our material attachment, right? We have heard that it cuts the knot of material entanglement when we hear those classes. So that's why we have to hear from realized souls. There's a difference between information and realization. Or else what will happen if we just, don't hear classes that, like Prabhupada's classes, full of realization, and our Acharya's classes full of realization, what happens is we just get information and then we go on with our materialistic activities, and then our entanglement further, body consciousness is only increasing. And finally, it comes to, it goes to moroseness, anger, then manas priha, as I said, the desire for respect, bhaya. Next is bhaya, very big topic, bhaya. Bhayam dvitiya abhiniveshatasya, says in the Bhagavatam. We have bhaya because we have accepted dvitiya, another thing which is not real, which is as in we have accepted shelter of material life. Most of us, 99.9999%, are simply working to protect our body. And what is the main thing we are trying to protect ourselves from is death. We are earning crores and crores of money just to pay that final ICU bill or hospital bill, or, in the process of dying. Death is guaranteed 100%. Right? But we are all earning, swelling our bank accounts or whatever, so that one day I may leave this body. I need for my expenses for hospital. And even when our job is in fear, we may not, we may lose our job, layoff, fear. Higher. Why? Because it targets our material bodily maintenance. Whereas great acharyas, they just walked out. Shukadeva Goswami, he just walked out, taking shelter of the Supreme Lord. Sridhar Swami, who was a commentator on the Bhagavata, he just had a newborn child, but he immediately came to a level where he was 100% Krishna conscious. So he knew, so the Lord will arrange for someone to take care of his child, and he just walked out. Now that doesn't mean that we all have to walk out. We are not on that level. We all have to be affectionate with family. Attachment is different from affection. So I'm not saying don't be affectionate and be hard, but we all have to be affectionate with family and everyone. But at the same time, in the process, we should not get attached, because we should understand, even though I'm affectionate, this family life, my spouse, father, mother, child, everyone is only temporary. And it's that realization is difficult because 8.4 million species of life, we have all gone through the cycle of so much, 8.4 million births of sense gratification, 8.4 million lives of attachment, 8.4 million lives of all these things, entanglement, kama, krodha, lobha, all these things. And now to get purified from these things, for some people, like Prabhupada said, 1 second is enough. For some of us, few lifetimes. For some of them, 1 lifetime. So it just depends on how much, what is our desire. The only thing we can actually really do is increase our desire to attain Lord Krishna. There is nothing else we can do. Once we have that desire gets stronger and stronger and stronger. Krishna will make the arrangement for us to serve him in so nicely that we can attain him. Nothing can be, we can only desire, okay, I want to chant better, I want to chant, so and then Krishna. And then we take the attempt to chant and all these things. Okay, so fear, so that is bhaya. Even in the Bhagavad Gita, it comes in the 4th chapter, Janma Karma Chame Divyam, famous verse, Evam Yoveti Tatvataha, Tyaktva Deham Punar Janma, Naiti Mamiti Swarchuna. That we will not get Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam. We will not get birth again in this material world, as we keep hearing Krishna Katha. But we are going to get birth somewhere. Where is that? In the spiritual world. It's not the impersonalist the Mayavadi understanding of spiritual life. For them, cutting Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam means you're never going to get any more birth ever again. That means you're going to basically merge. When you merge, you don't have birth again. But that is not the Vaishnava understanding. We will get another birth, but in the spiritual world. We want cutting of Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam in material world. We don't want birth here. We have to get birth in the spiritual world. Prabhupada discusses this point very nicely in one of the purports of Mukundamala, I think 2nd or 3rd, I forget, that about the difference between Vaishnava understanding of Punarapi Jananam, Punarapi Maranam and the impersonalist understanding. And if you read this chapter itself, it is very clear. Everything is a personalist setup. Every Varsha has a deity. Every element has a deity. Kaveri is a deity. Ganga is a deity. This Bhadrashrava Varsha we saw as a deity. Ketumala Varsha. Every land Varsha has a deity. So everything is personal. So everywhere there's a deity and a personalistic version. Why can't it be accepted even that the Supreme Lord is also a person and he is also a deity and he's a person? So it's Shastra Vedic knowledge is all about personalism. So anyway, so Janma Karma Chame Divyam, so when I was talking Puna, you will not get birth again. But what is the other result also is given in the following verse. So when we hear Janma Karma Chame Divyam, that the transcendental Divyam, activities of the Supreme Lord, his appearance and his activities, first result is Tyaktva Deha, after giving up this birth, Punar Pijanam Na Iti Swarjuna, he says, right? Then the next verse says also what else happens. Vitaraga Bhaya Krodha. We become freed from attachment. Vita, free from Raga, attachment, Bhaya, fear, Krodha, anger, Manmayamam Upashritaha. By taking shelter and become fully situated and taking the shelter of the Supreme Lord. Bhavajnana tapasa puta mad bhavam agataha. So many persons have become purified by knowledge of the Supreme Lord. So that is the wonderful thing of here listening to Krishna Katha. Our fear, we become fearless. Another verse is there, Narayana Parasarve Nakutaschena Bibhatyati. It doesn't matter. You want to put me in hell, Krishna? I'll go to hell to serve you. If you want to put in Patala Loka, I'll go to serve you. That is a very, very high level of fearlessness we come to. Okay, and then what else does Bhaya come to here? After Bhaya, he comes to a fear and the desire for false prestige. We already discussed this. Everybody wants to live in this society with prestige. They say, oh, he's some pujari or lower, inferior work. I'm a vice president of Microsoft, higher prestige. I'm a vice president of Google, higher prestige. Oh, I'm just, nobody, just distributing a few books and, I'm very low. So nothing. So everybody wants to identify with a friend according to what I can get out of him. Well, you're a vice president of Microsoft. Hello, let's stay in touch. I want to stay in touch with you. You know. So false prestige. Again, we always want to show, this society. That's why Kunti Maharani says, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shribihi, Edamana, Madapuman. Naivartyam Abhidhatavai, Tvam Akinchana Vochara. You can be attained only by those who are materially exhausted. Of course, that then Bhagavatam talks about even great devotees like Prahalada, great devotees like Ambarisha, who were all exalted devotees and had a great palace and all these things. But it also and Dhruva, and it also talks about other kinds of devotees like Sudhama and others, who also later became rich. But anyway, Gajendra, or so many other devotees. So it's not like they were all hankering after Janma Karma, Janma Aishwarya Shruta Shri Bihi. Whatever one's position is, we all get our position in this world according to our previous karmas. But now that we have got our position, how should we advance in spiritual life to give up entanglement, desires, moroseness, anger, despair, fear, and desire for false prestige? You think Ambarish was expecting false, I want to be in this position as a king because it gives me prestige? No. I'm sure, like Maharaj Parikshit, he'd have the guts to walk out of the palace and take to 100% Krishna consciousness. Similarly, Prahalad, similarly other great devotees. Even Dhruva, he said, whatever I desired was like broken pieces of glass. So everything reached this. And to give up prestige is a very, very difficult issue. If we have prestige, we get more red carpet, we get more people to listen to us, we're given value, we are given respect. So whoever has it, but we should not get entangled by the prestige and all these things. So it's not like Prabhupada had any prestige. He went abroad, he spoke, he simply fearlessly spoke the words of Krishna, and Krishna sent him people. It's not like I have to go desire for prestige so that people will listen to me. None of our acharyas did that. The Rupa Goswami did that. No, he was sitting under a tree. Now I can, and then, I'm not saying all of you, okay, go sit under a tree and then people come. But we don't desire after all these things. If it comes, we use it in Krishna's service. If it doesn't come, we don't go hankering after it. Because going hankering after it, we get further entangled. The material thing is, we should never underestimate. It can drown us very quickly such that we can fall, or it can take us far away from the mission of life. Okay, so one by one, that's how, all of which results in repetition of birth and death in this material life, which we want to slowly try to get rid of. Okay, so I will conclude here. Before concluding, I also want to say I'm highly entangled in my own material life. So I have no realization. I all need your prayers and blessings. I can also slowly advance in a small way and serve Srila Prabhupada and come out of this material entanglement one day. Hare Krishna. Any questions or comments? Please feel free.
Thank you so much, Radharam Prabhu. Wonderful class and wonderful insights into this things that we should fear and what should be our priority in life. Thank you so much, Prabhu. I would request devotees to unmute, and if they have any inputs, thoughts, comments, questions, please feel free to ask. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu, Dandot Pranam. You are so dedicated with the temple activities, and you say you are entangled, you left your job and come. What about me? I want to come out, but I'm not able to. But as I just put a small step, I thought 3 days I will not work in the clinic. That one step I took. One day I should come to the temple, but I'm not able to progress further. I'll try my best to do. But excellent lecture, Prabhu. Dandot Pranam.
Hare Krishna. Anybody else would like to comment? Thought?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Dandavat Pranams. Thanks for the wonderful class, Prabhu. Though I missed the beginning, Prabhu, I got one doubt. Somewhere I read that Mayavadis go to the hellish planets. Is it correct, Prabhu?
Mayavadis go to?
The hellish planets, like that. I don't know if it's correct or not.
I can't decide where they're going. I don't know where they go. Some could be, I don't know what. Actually, if Prabhupada said in one of the purports that whether you're a Mayavad or not, if a man does discharge semen and does proper brahmacharya all his life, he will go to Brahmaloka, Satyaloka. It's like that also can be there. So Mayavad, our acharyas have condemned impersonalists because there is one, because they think I'm God. And we cannot accept that philosophy that I am God. So for that, yeah, they get to see Narakaloka. Also is said, I can't give a definitive statement. Yes, they will go. So they may go, they may not go. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Dandavat.
Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, I was thinking, we all have, being in the Grihastha ashram or with the conditionings that we have, we all have our priorities. So with that priority, sometimes it feels like, it's like walking on a tightrope.
Yeah.
So, but what should we hold on to, Prabhuji? That, that stick is there, right? Which helps us balance. So what should be that?
Well, we should first, my suggestion is, we should chant in such a way that we want to come out of entanglement. That is the first thing we have to do. Chant in a way that we want to give up offenses. The thing is, we can, as I said, we can only desire, and the external situation, only the Supreme Lord can make the arrangement. Whatever it is, we can't make we can try. Like some of them try to earn so much money that they don't have to work for long and they can retire early and take up to KC. But it's not like everyone's attained 100% success in that. Many of them in so-called investments have lost so much money that they have to work few more years. So what does a stick means? I would say that strong when we chant, when we do our sadhana, we pray to the Lord that I want to serve you without entanglement, or I want to increase my service for you. You make the external arrangement, and I want to have and we from internally, we can only make our desires stronger and stronger and stronger. I hope that helps.
Definitely, Prabhuji. It is all. It's with us. The onus is with us. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah. Our attitude, our desire.
Yes.
Our will.
Yes. Thank you, Prabhuji. Anybody else? Okay. I think we'll end here, Prabhuji. With Vaishnava Pranam. So, Vanchakalpatarubhishya Kripa Sindhubhyo Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda ki Jai. Vaishnava Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Granth Srimad Bhagavad ki Jai. Thank you so much. We'll discontinue the session. We'll meet tomorrow at the same time. Hare Krishna.